Hello, is it working? Hello? Just tell you a little bit about myself. When I was 4, my family moved from Egypt to Wales, and this was in 2001, so not the best time for a Muslim family to move. People would shout stuff at us in Welsh, and my parents would respond in Arabic, because they're exactly the same phlegm-based language. My parents were like, oh shit, you guys too? And it was weird growing up. Like, I used to sit next to this kid in class called Martin, who was really into Pokemon, didn't have loads of friends, and he had this BlackBerry with the S key on the keyboard missing, which was ironic because he also had a lisp. You know, he had a tough time at school. And one day, just one day, he goes to me, Omar, you know, if you killed everyone here, you'd be in the news as a terrorist. But if I did it, I'd just be a troubled boy, which makes sense. And I'm like, okay. Why, Martin? And he goes, well, we have different objectives. You'd want to kill everyone and then get to your 72 virgins. I'm like, Martin, you'd want to kill everyone and then get to your Dungeons and Dragons convention, which are exactly the same thing. And then he's like, yeah, but if I did it, it'd be because I actually hate everyone here. I don't need any incentives. I'm like, am I being motive shamed? And then he's like, you know what, Omar, random attacks used to be your thing. Now, we've kind of taken it, renovated it, improved it. I'm like, Martin, and this is going to be the weirdest thing that's come out of my mouth, are you saying that school shooters are gentrifying terrorism? And like, after Wales, my family moved to Cambridge, which is why I sound like this, and why someone at a football match called me a posh terrorist. What does that mean? That instead of bomb vests, I wear a suicide gilet. Go by the name Jihadi Giles and post videos on Facebook of me beheading pheasants. I don't know. Like, a lot of my friends would go on these sort of charity expeditions to Africa and parts of Asia to save my family, and thank you so much, by the way. And like, and they'd always come back and say things like, Omar, you should have seen the look of happiness and gratitude on these people's faces. There's nothing that compares to that. But have you ever given a random white girl a free chip after a night out? The joy in their eyes. And when you say, take a couple, you really feel like the Red Cross. Like, and I went to uni in Newcastle, so hearing them say thank you in a Geordie accent pretty much makes it foreign aid, you know? And like, do you remember, right, before the pandemic, when the government and Boris Johnson were thinking about banning burqas and face coverings? It's never going to happen now. And my mum wears a hijab, which is like a mild burqa, a lemon and herb burqa on the peri-peri scale, you know? Mainly for religious reasons, but I've seen the way she ties it up. That shit gives you a phenomenal facelift. I mean, black don't crack, brown can't frown. Because hijab removes flab, that's the rule. But even like the hijab became a controversial subject over the pandemic. Like, the French government were thinking about banning the hijab, and obviously the large Muslim population in France were annoyed about this and were considering revolting against the French government. And in my opinion, do I think that's the right way to solve a big social issue? No. But do I want to see a West End musical in the future called Les Miserables? Yes! I want to see the characters Marius and Cassette replaced with Mahmoud and Karima, who find love on a dating app called Halal Meets. That is entertainment. And like I was saying, like, some of my friends would go on these charity expeditions, like some of us would get summer jobs, and everyone lies on their CV. I used to say that I could read and write Arabic, but I don't do this anymore because when I was younger, I landed a summer job at a big public library that wanted me to go into the Arabic section and sort Islamic texts from translated novels. But I don't read Arabic that well. So every day, I'd have to play a fun game called, is this the Quran? Or is this the Arabic interpretation of 50 Shades of Grey? Because I had no clue. I was recognizing random words like punishment, lashes, submit to your master. Well, that could be either. And I'm 24 now, so in my family, the topic of who I'm marrying has begun to arise in the last couple decades or so, and my mum's dream is for me to be a brain surgeon, and her biggest fear is that I marry an Instagram model, so it's good to know that even my mum's fears have high expectations I can't live up to. I mean, my mum hates Instagram models and wants the person I marry to have, like, good Muslim values, but I think Instagram models have terrific Muslim values. She's like, what? Muslims pray 5 times a day and connect to God. But I'm like, yeah, but Instagram models do yoga 6 times a day, whilst intermittent fasting, which is pretty much Ramadan. Or as racists call it, radicalized Lent. And she's like, look at the pictures that they post, Omar. None are of their face, just bum, bum, bum. How's that good Muslim values? And I was like, firstly, it's an honest job. Secondly, they work hard in the gym for their bodies. And lastly, never showing any picture of their face. That's pretty Prophet Muhammad like to me, Mum. But the one thing I haven't missed during the pandemic has been nightclubs. I remember I had an encounter with a bouncer that was wearing a No Surrender English Defence League pin, and he did not like me. He was letting everyone else in, but to me he was like, listen, mate, you're wearing the wrong clothes, this ID looks fake, you're not allowed to drink here. I was like, whoa. So you're telling me I have to wear what you say, and I'm not allowed to drink? You sound pretty pro-Sharia law, man, I'm not gonna lie. And I remember that on his pin, above EDL, he had St. George's flag, which is what I find weird about racists. Right? They take symbols, like the EDL took St. George's flag, the Nazis stole the swastika from the Hindus, the KKK nicked the Celtic cross. Do racist groups not have a graphic design budget? You shouldn't claim supremacy if you can't use Microsoft Paint. And I didn't get let in until the next bouncer's shift. And when that bouncer saw me, he was like, sorry about it, mate. He just hates everything to do with Muslims. But it's all right. He's gone to his next shift now. And I was like, oh, where's that? So I can avoid it. And then he goes, no joke, a Mecca bingo. Guys, that's my time. Thank you so much. Cheers.